Good afternoon. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to give you guys an update from yesterday and let you know kind of how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. And weirdly enough, after I got done vlogging last night, I started listening to my audiobook for a little bit. I was like, if I'm gonna be up all night long because I'm not gonna be able to sleep, then I'm just gonna stay up and listen to my audiobook. And I don't know, it might have a lot to do with me talking. So if that's the case, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But like a half an hour after I stopped vlogging, it completely went away. Like, it completely stopped hurting. And it's now 3:15, 3:14, and it hasn't hurt since late last night. And I got a good night's sleep, which I'm so thankful for. When I push down hard on it, I can feel that it's still painful. So I do need to get my tooth fixed, I think, or I don't know. I'm gonna go in on Wednesday. I don't feel pressured to go get an appointment now. This is how this vlog is gonna change, watch. This is where I'm at 3:14 p.m. And then at, 12 hours later, I'll be like in total pain again. It's just the weirdest thing, I don't know. I will say I look like shit today, number one. Number two, I used the Laneige sleeping mask last night on my lips, which really helped my chapped lips. But yeah, I got a good night's sleep, and I'm really thankful for that, because I was really like starting to stress out a little bit and worry that I wasn't gonna get any sleep at all. And so the fact that I got home, and I went home and I uploaded the vlog, and then I went right to bed. And I must have fallen asleep really quick. So at least that's a positive, that I got some sleep, right? And that it's not hurting today. I haven't taken any Aleve, any ibuprofen today. I'm trying to wait if I have to take it, like if it starts hurting, but I don't want to have to take it. I want to go as long as I possibly can. Not that I haven't, like people, whenever I say stuff like that, it's not that like I'm worried that I'm going to become addicted to Aleve. It's nothing like that. And there are some over-the-counter medications that I will take. I will take anything that's not habit-forming. So like Aleve, ibuprofen is not obviously habit-forming. But I don't want to take it because I'm afraid that I'm going to start hurting and then I need it down the road. I'd rather wait until like the pain happens, if that makes sense. If it happens, I'm hoping maybe I can make it through an entire day and it won't hurt at all. So that's my plan. I am absolutely exhausted though. That is one thing. And I have to be at my nephew's birthday party in an hour and 45 minutes. So I have a couple errands to run. I was gonna film a bunch of videos today. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I just really don't wanna go a fourth day without filming videos, but I'm gonna try to film at least like a Peterisms video and a video on my Q&A on my Peter Monn channel. So I'm gonna go home here in just a bit and take a shower and get ready for the party. And I'm kind of hoping that maybe taking a shower will make me feel good, So yeah, I'm excited about seeing my family, but I just don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay and stuff. And I was thinking about this today. Last time that we had a birthday party, they do them at Chuck E. Cheese. The last time we did it there, they, like we were there for like 2 hours, and then they were like, okay, let's go back to the house and have cake. And I'm like, there's more to this party. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do it. So I hope I can last the duration today. If I feel like how I do right now, I don't think it'll be a problem. So I'm gonna try to just be positive about it and be thankful that I'm feeling better right now. Yeah. So I just went and got an iced coffee from Starbucks. It's a beautiful day in Indianapolis today. I mean, it's cold outside. It's 14 degrees. But it's like the skies are absolutely beautiful. It's blue outside and not really many clouds in the sky. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna go back to listening to a little bit of my audiobook while I run a few errands, and then I'm gonna go home and get ready, and if I get my stuff done in time, I'm gonna make some videos today. If not, then my plan is to be back tomorrow full swing filming videos again, hoping that I feel 100% better tomorrow. I don't love going to the dentist, I will tell you that, so I'm not excited about going to the dentist on Wednesday, but it must be done. Then I have a hair appointment on Thursday. Oh, I didn't go to my trainer today, but he texted me and he was like, hey, I forgot to let you know that I wasn't going to be there today. So I was like, well, that works, because I was going to force myself to go this morning no matter how I felt. And I did feel better, so I was like, well, I can go, and I can push myself through it, but I didn't really want to, so. He was like, well, I'll message you tomorrow and let you know what days are good later in the week to get you in. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So, yep, so that's that, and now I'm just running errands, listening to my audiobook, and just kind of trying to relax and feel a little bit better. I do feel like drained. I feel like I really went through something. I don't know, it's just so weird that I was in so much pain for so long, and then it just completely went away. Like, and when I mean to tell you that it, like, completely went away, I don't mean, like, it dulled a little bit. I mean, like, completely went away. Like, I can kind of feel some pressure right now, but, like, nothing that I would, like, if I hadn't had what happened yesterday, I wouldn't even notice it today. You know what I mean? But I think because I'm looking for it, I notice it. So, hopefully I can get this figured out and see what's going on. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now, and running some errands. I'm gonna go home and film some videos, and I will be back a little bit later. Bye. All right, I'm back, you guys, and so is the toothache. I am, like, in so much pain, you guys. I almost, like right this second, it feels okay. It hurts, but I don't know how I'm gonna get through this birthday party. I wore my Mickey Mouse sweatshirt because Sebastian loves Mickey Mouse. I'm on my way first to go and pick up this antibiotic. Thank you guys all for the really nice, positive things that you said. I'm trying to get my vlog kind of done a little bit at a time throughout the day so that I can just, like, maybe rest tonight if I get it done early. I think I just need to, like, I don't know, like, I was just sitting there at the house. I was just, like, literally just, like, I got out of the shower and I was just, like, sipping water, sipping water, sipping water, which isn't even really helping that much anymore. I finally took some Aleve. It has not kicked in or helped. I'm so over it. I'm hoping this antibiotic helps. But it's not going to help immediately, you know what I mean? I actually drove by Chuck E. Cheese earlier, and it was packed because it's Martin Luther King Day, and I was like, it is going to be packed in there tonight. I think all the kids are off from school. Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm not gonna talk anymore right now. I'm just gonna let my mouth, like, rest. I'll be back later. All right, I am back, and it is 1:55 a.m. and I have been sleeping for the last few hours. Alex went to bed at like 9 o'clock tonight, you guys. And so I laid down with him because my tooth started feeling better. So I went to pick up my antibiotic. I took that. And then I went to Chuck E. Cheese. Took my water in with me. Filled it up about 4 times. Also got like a little root beer from Chuck E. Cheese. I was in so much pain, but like, I just sipped the water the whole time, and I did okay. I mean, it was fun. It was just a family. It was, well, well, Sarah came, Alex's best friend, too. And she brought a foosball table for Sebastian. It was really cool. It was Alex and I and Sarah, and then Alex's mom and his grandma and his uncle, and then Carlos and Liliana and Sebastian and Carlitos, and then this friend of Carlos's and Liliana's sister, and that was it. It was nice. It was just small, but and we just sat around the whole night. It was packed in there tonight. I think it was because the kids were off school or something today. But it was absolutely packed in there. And I got there at I don't know what time it was. 5:30ish, something like that. I don't know. But I stayed till almost 8. And then I told Alex, I said, I'm gonna, I've gotta leave for a little bit. I've gotta stop talking. I think maybe it's me talking. And I'm just going to, listen to my audiobook and see if it kind of goes away a little bit. And he was like, okay. And I had taken some Aleve right before I had left the house. And it didn't really help a whole lot. And so I knew, I took it at 4:30. And so I knew that I couldn't take it again until 8:30. And so I was kind of waiting until just then to take it. And so I was driving around. So I stayed, and then I drove around. I was listening to this The Stranger Beside Me audiobook, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And at 8:30 I took the Aleve, and then I was just I'm just going to go home. Alex had just gotten home, and he was laying in bed with the dogs. He's like, I'm so tired, I could just go to sleep right now. He had texted me, and I was stopping to go get something to eat because I had a piece of pizza. I had to eat it real slow on the other side of my mouth, and I was so hungry, and I was getting ready to stop at the grocery store, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll see if I can sleep with him for a little while, and then I can get something to eat later. So I didn't. I'm gonna go to Meijer later and get something to eat, get some hummus or something, and maybe some soft pita bread. But anyway, because I want to watch the rest of that fire documentary tonight when I get back. Because I've slept now for over 4 hours. So So I took the Aleve at 8:30, and then I got home, and I was laying in bed. It wasn't going away. It was really still hurting really bad. And then I was just out of nowhere, it just went away again. Just totally went away. And I was like, this is so weird. I don't understand this. Right now, it's really a dull pain, but it's bearable. If it was right now, always, I could handle it until I go to the dentist on Wednesday. But so I have a dental appointment on Wednesday. That was the earliest it could get me in. Yeah. I really, really appreciate all your comments and suggestions and well wishes, you guys, today. And honestly, just the comments, because it was reading all the comments kind of kept my mind off things. And even though it was about my tooth, it was you know. And I haven't posted any videos besides my vlog in 4 days. I feel so disconnected to YouTube right now. I feel really disconnected. I've had videos that I've wanted to make for the last 4 days that I mean, it just turned out that way, that Friday and Saturday was, and Sunday was just me kind of resting, and then today, I didn't know that I would get up and feel this way. So my plan is to vlog tonight and then go home. And I'm going to listen to a little bit of my audiobook before I go home. I'm really, really into it right now. And then go home and watch the fire thing. And then I'm going to sleep in the morning till late morning. And then I'm going to try to just get up, because I seem to feel okay right when I get up. and then just like get in the shower, take a shower, and like boom, 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 make some videos. I really want to post some videos. And then hopefully by early evening I feel better so I can go to my meeting tomorrow night with Tanya. Yeah, then that's that. And then Wednesday I have my dental appointment. And then Thursday I have a hair appointment. And then right after that I have my training appointment. We moved my training appointment to Thursday. Because he's texted me this morning and said he was going to be like out of town, or that he was not in Indianapolis or something, so he canceled it today, which I wasn't too upset about. That was kind of my day. It was really cozy, just being in bed with the dogs tonight and Alex, and I can't believe he went to bed so early. Carlitos and Sebastian love Chuck E. Cheese. Like, they literally, like, they nonstop played the entire time. Like, Carlitos and Liliana are so good with them. And they were, like, you know, just with them the whole time. Like, Carlos hung out with Carlitos most of the time playing, like, games that he could play. And Liliana was walking Sebastian around. But at the end, they kind of, like, switched it up a little bit. But, like, they didn't even eat any, like, pizza. And, like, Alex got a cheese pizza. And because they had gotten it, like, Sarah's the vegan and I'm the vegetarian, and so Alex got a cheese pizza for us to share, and they had gotten like some pizzas with like meat and stuff on them. Meat, I don't know, sausage, pepperoni and stuff like that. It was so funny because Tanya, the other day when I was telling her that I had to go to Chuck E. Cheese, she goes, I don't care what anybody says, I think Chuck E. Cheese has the best pizza in the whole world. Do you know, like, when you're sick or, like, with, like, this tooth pain and you're so hungry and all you want to do is, like, eat something, like, really bad pizza from Chuck E. Cheese, and it looks so good. Alex got cheesy bread, too. And you can't eat it because you're, like, you're in so much pain. That's how I was tonight. I was, like, so pissed. That pizza never looked so good until tonight. Like, it doesn't hurt like it did last night when I was vlogging. And I don't know if it's because of the leave still working or whatever. I'm hoping so, maybe, but like it seems like it's been working for quite some time, if that's the case. I mean, I'm so hungry right now, though. I don't really know what I should get that would be good to eat. I have this friend of mine, like, whenever she's sick, or, like, you know, she always has, like, mashed potatoes. She'll be like, oh, I always just get those Bob Evans mashed potatoes and just fire them up in the microwave, which is kind of funny. But I have to be honest with you, like, macaroni and cheese, stuffing, and stuffing sounds really good right now, like a box of stuffing. Oh, you know, everything that's super, super healthy for me. So yeah, that's my plan, is to go home and then, like, get a good night's sleep and get up tomorrow and try to get that stuff done right away, because I want to get some videos up. It is so cold outside tonight. Pee-Pee was trying so hard, little guy, to poop, and like he has, and like it was kind of funny because now I won't get this out of my head, but the other night Alex was like, when it had snowed a lot, he pointed outside to the snow and he goes, can you imagine pooping out in that? And I was like, what? And he goes, because Pee-Pee just did. And I was like, good boy, Pee-Pee. But tonight he was, but like, sometimes he's so slow doing it and he just keeps on circling. And if you have dogs, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, his little paws in the snow out there, it's so cold. You guys, it's 13 degrees right now in Indianapolis. It's so cold. It's crazy how cold it is. So anyway, I am like kind of weirdly obsessed all of a sudden with the book Stranger Beside Me. At the beginning, I wasn't really sure that I was going to like it. And I know a lot of people are like, why are you always talking about books on this? But like with the book club, there's a lot of people in here that watch the vlog that are in the book club. So, hey, book club, how are you? This upcoming Sunday at 4 p.m. is the live stream about Ted Bundy. Like, I don't know why it took me so long to kind of like, and a lot of you guys commented on it actually, it took me so long to get behind the idea that, like, yes, it's an account of what happened with Ted Bundy, but it's not really like a true crime book. I mean, it is a true crime book. It has like all the facts and stuff in there, but it's really more about Ann Rule's like friendship with Ted Bundy. And once you finally figure that out, like, you're not stupid enough like I was for so long, like, once you really realize, oh, I get, this is like Ann's story, it's not so much just like the telling of Ted Bundy, then it's really interesting. And then Ann becomes interesting as well, because she's kind of a character in the ongoing investigation. I'm almost right at the halfway mark. He's preparing for his trial in Colorado. And I have a feeling he's about to escape, because I know at some point he goes to Florida, because that's how the book starts. Don't tell me in the comment section below. I don't want it to be ruined. I'm really, really into it. Like, when I'm in my car, like, that's all I have on. I have been listening to so many audiobooks lately, and like reading at home so much. If I kept on reading like this throughout the year, I would definitely make my 100-book goal this year. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I'm thinking about doing an entire vlog on here where I just show old pictures of myself from down in the basement that I have. I mean, I have so many pictures, you guys. And I was going to combine it with like a Q&A on here. I'm going to do another Q&A on my channel. I know people are probably like bored of the Q&As, but whatever. That's going to be my segue back into doing drama again on there, because I haven't done drama videos in like 4 or 5 days. So somebody had said on here, I think it's time for you to do another Q&A on your vlog channel. Do you guys remember I did that one night? So if you guys have questions, I don't care what they're about, put it in the comment section of this video. And if you would like to see pictures from when I was growing up, or just my past, you know, like when I was a teenager, college, whatever, baby pictures, put it below that you're interested in that, and I will do that vlog like either tomorrow or Wednesday. So you can just list your comments below, and also what you think about me doing the picture thing. But you know, I still have not watched that videotape of my mom at Caroline's wedding. I don't know what that's about. Like, well, first of all, I always forget to do it. But I think it's weird that I haven't yet. I've had that tape forever. Like, I really don't think this is the case, but like when I start talking about it and thinking about it, so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it was like over a year ago, I think it was Thanksgiving a year ago, Caroline had, I said something about like I didn't have anything of my mom talking, and she goes, oh, well, I have a videotape of my wedding, because my cousin, or my mom read at my cousin's wedding. She read like the whole Corinthians thing, you know, like love is this, love is that, and so Caroline said, do you want that? You can, you know, I have a copy that you can have, and then, you know, you can keep it just so you have something with your mom talking on it. And I was like, oh my God, I would love that. So I've had this videotape for, I don't know, over a year now or something. And I've never played, it might be even 2 years that I've had it, and I haven't played it. And, it's not like I don't have access to a VCR. I mean, I have a VCR set up in my office, right? But I could play it any day that I, you know, at my office that I wanted. And I also have a VCR at home. I just don't know if it's plugged in, or I don't know the last time I've used that VCR. But it's weird, like whenever I think about it, I always kind of think subconsciously, oh, you know what I wanted to do for a review video? Hold on a second, I'm gonna go back around. Of course, a food. Arby's has something that I wanted to see if. I don't think it's new though. Taco Bell has something too that I want to see if they have. This restaurant right here is so funny. Okay, like, so this restaurant has been like 3 different Mexican restaurants, but they're always called something different. Now it's called Tequila Sunrise. I think it's kind of a cute name for a Mexican restaurant. What was I gonna say? But I wonder kind of like if it's not subconscious that I don't want to watch the videotape. Although I don't know why, like, you know, that I think like it would upset me or something like that. Yeah, they are new. But you can also get them at the grocery store. I've seen them at the grocery store. These Oreo bites. I'm thinking about getting these Oreo bites. And a mint chocolate shake. Maybe I'll get that tomorrow and review that for my review channel. What do you think? Do you guys ever get Arby's? Arby's is so expensive when it comes to fast food. I used to love Arby's back in the day. I love their Jamocha shakes and their potato cakes. So yeah, like I kind of wonder, like, is it, you know, subconscious that I don't like really, you know, want to watch this tape because it'll make me sad or something? But I don't really feel like that's the case. I don't know. There was something that I wanted to talk about with a stranger beside me that's weird. There's something that reminds me of it. Reminds me of the Visalia ransacker, who is a Golden State Killer, but they didn't know it at the time. That when I was listening to it today, I was kind of reminded of that. I was like, oh yeah, that reminds me of all these cases to some degree. You know what I was wondering, like, when I was listening to it today, I was like, you know, like the Golden State Killer just was caught this year, right? But he had been, like, attacking people in the 80s. Like, his last crime, I think he stopped in, like, 86. And, you know, it makes you wonder, like, if these other, like, killers, like, kept up, like, with, like, reading about, you know, like, Ted Bundy and all that, like, if they knew about these other killers. It's really, really scary when you think, like, at one point she said something about all these other women that went missing, but, like, she doesn't even name them. Like, the summer of, like, 72 or 74 or something like that. And she doesn't even name them. She's like, all these other women went missing. You know, and it makes you wonder, like, with serial killers, like, I mean, there has to be somebody. We have to have an active serial killer today, which I think is a really scary thought, right? And, you know, it feels like back then we would have had more, you know, like, people that, well, that's not necessarily true, but it feels like people went missing more often than they do today. I don't know, that's probably not true. But I just don't feel like I hear it on the news very often, you know, like, that so-and-so went missing or whatever. I was talking on here, I think yesterday, about how on Twitter I had seen that somebody had gone missing. I think they, like, found where she was or something. But, you know, like, I don't, like, it feels like back in the day, there were always people that were, like, runaways and, you know, it's a term that, like, when, started to slide as soon as I went up, a term that it's interesting, a term that, like, I had learned when I was getting my master's degree in social work, and was throwaways. And it's basically like, there were like juveniles that, like, their parents didn't want them, and so they would basically like kick them out, and they would be like on their own, and you know, for whatever reason. We hear of that today, but I don't feel like we hear of that as much as I mean, maybe in certain areas more than others, and since I live in, like, suburbia, I don't really hear as much of it here as I would, like, maybe, you know, like, in, like, you know, downtown Chicago, or, you know what I mean, like, but I feel like that was a term that was talked about a lot more in the past. And, I mean, as much as we have runaways here, because of the weather, the cold weather and stuff, I don't think that we, like, see as many of them here. I think they go warmer places. I'd actually started working on this book years and years and years ago. It was called Surrender to Technicolor, and it was about these three kids that are runaways together, and it was all told with the backdrop of The Wizard of Oz. I wrote a ton of it, never did anything with it. The main character's name was Monday. It was this girl. And she was named after the Carpenter song, Rainy Days and Mondays. And the other main character was this kid. I think his name was Simon. And he was selectively mute. And he had gone in and out of foster care. And he had seen his, like, when he was really young, his mom had come in and, like, shot and killed his dad, and then she had left, and he had never seen her again. That's how he ended up in foster care. And while she did it, he was watching The Wizard of Oz. So he constantly kind of lived in this state of, like, everything that happened to him, he made sense out of it in response to The Wizard of Oz. And so he ended up in this, like, long-term court-ordered facility. And he and this guy, and then this girl Monday, I can't remember what the guy's name was, but they ended up going on the road. And basically it was like a retelling of The Wizard of Oz. And they met these three people along the way. I should maybe revisit that sometime. I also worked for a really long time. This is actually the book that I thought I was going to put out first. It was a book I worked on for a long time. And it was based on a short story that I had written when I was in college called Lipstick Kids. It was about these two sisters. And the girl was, like, the main character. She's like 14, 15, and very kind of, like, pragmatic, very serious, and mom is a heroin addict, and they live in this trailer court, and it takes place over a 4th of July weekend, and the whole thing starts at the gas station, and they're, like, walking home, and their last name is Traz, T-A-R-Z, and she gets teased for being, like, they call her trash, and so anyway, like the first, it starts in like, if like 4th of July is like that Saturday, it starts like that Thursday, and then it goes to like the Tuesday. That's the whole book. And I remember I wrote to Ellen Hopkins, because we interviewed Ellen Hopkins. If you don't know who Ellen Hopkins is, she writes some of the most fantastic young adult novels in the entire world. And her daughter was a meth addict, and she wrote 3 books. That was like her first series that she wrote. It was called like Glass. I can't remember what the other 2 are, but they're like really, really long, like this thick. But they're written in like prose. They're really, really interesting and well done. She's like one of my most favorite authors, young adult authors of life. And so we interviewed her, and like for our website, and afterwards I was like talking to her, and I said, could you give me some writing advice? And she was like, oh, absolutely. And she goes to colleges and high schools and talks about writing and how to be a writer and all this kind of stuff. And so I told her about this idea, and she said, I definitely think that like young adult is your thing. And she was like, this is a fantastic idea, and she was like really supportive of it. I gave her like my first chapter, and she read it, and she was just really super supportive, and I never followed through with this idea. But it was called Suicide Birds, and it was about this girl, and 4th of July weekend, and they live in this trailer court, and they're very like poor, and their mom is a stripper, and she's a heroin addict, and she's this like always like this string of boyfriends that come in. I mean, it's very kind of like trite idea, but she has so the first day is like, the mom has sent them to the gas station to go pick her up some cigarettes, and like it's like one of the mom's like ex-boyfriends that like owns the gas station, and they get this other candy, and they're like sitting on there, and they're watching like all the families leave for 4th of July weekend, and so then they come back, and the mom's like really, really mean, and like the little girl, the little sister, she only talks this like tube of lipstick. And isn't that weird that I wrote about somebody that was like selectively mute, and then somebody that would only write to or talk to a tube of lipstick? But anyway, they had walked through this like mustard field, and she had all these cuts over her legs, and the mom like whips out, like with a cigarette in her mouth, like whips out this like hose, and just is like hosing off her legs, and it's like burning their legs, and then she's like, I made you dinner, and it's like, and so anyway, the mom goes to work, and they're just there talking to people in like the trailer court, and so she like, that first night, she walks up to, they have like one of those carnivals, you know, like behind like Target that they used to have back in the day. Do you remember those? We used to go to those all the time, those carnivals. Oh my God, I couldn't wait when they would come in the summer. It'd only be there for like a weekend. And like literally overnight, you'd like, I'm like looking at this parking lot over here by like TJ Maxx. That's exactly kind of like the parking lot that it would go up in. It would go in like, you know, some like Target parking lot. Have a Ferris wheel and all this kind of stuff, you know. You couldn't wait to go. And so she goes over there by herself and is walking around, and this woman in the neighborhood like watches her sister. And anyway, that night she comes home, and like they're asleep in the back. Like her mom had like given them like the master bedroom, so they're like asleep in the back. And her mom and her mom's like some guy come in, and they're like fighting and whatever, and she just like is like standing in the door like watching the whole thing, and she can't really see anything. Anyway, so at some point her mom goes to bed, and she gets up the next day, and her mom's dead, and she panics, and she doesn't know what to do. And it's the story of like the next couple days, and like her idea of freedom, you know, because she wakes up on 4th of July, and it's like she's felt trapped in this life, but this wasn't the freedom that she was looking for, you know. And she's terrified that if she calls somebody, because she knew somebody that got taken away by social services, she's terrified that, you know, like if she calls somebody, that she and her sister will be separated. They don't really know their grandma very well, and they don't trust their grandma because they don't know her. So she just kind of goes on as like, they sleep outside. It's like a really nice weekend, and they like, because it's 4th of July, and they sleep outside. She makes this tent, and they kind of just go on as if, and while their mom's body is like literally like rotting in this trailer, and like her anxiety level is like going up and going up and going up throughout the weekend. And then she meets this guy, and who's like a year ahead of her, and it's somebody that she always, like his group, always made fun of her, but she ends up really liking him, and he's like very nice to her. And like when they're walking home from the gas station the first day she sees him, because he's like diving in the pool, and they're standing behind this gate, and she's watching him dive in this pool. But anyway, and then eventually they like the police find out, and like the grandmother is called, and she comes, and like they're driving away from town, and as they're driving away, this bird like dives in front of their car, and the little girl sitting in the back seat. I think her name's Ruby, and so she's sitting in the back seat, and her grandma's like, why do they always do that? And she's thinking about her mom. I think I've talked about this on here before, and she's thinking about her mom, and like wondering like if her mom like intentionally, like, she overdoses in the book. Like, did she intentionally do it, or, you know, was it her just taking a risk in life? And like the birds that dive in front of plane or drive in front of cars, you know. And I worked on that for a long time. That was like really fully realized. I actually have a lot of that written too. I haven't really been writing a whole lot lately. I feel like I need something to like jumpstart 2019. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I feel like 2018 kind of just faded into 2019, and it was like not like anything, like any huge transition or anything, you know what I mean? And like nothing's really any different than it was before. And I'm like, I've been sick, which sucks, and then this tooth pain now the last 2 days, you know, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like, you know, I think that's that childish kind of ideology, you know, that you think like, oh, the next year is going to be like so much greater, but like literally it's just December 31st to like January 1st. It's not like my life is bad. It's nothing like that, you know, like I have a blessed life, but it's not anything like I would say drastically different. I also, as much as I love the snow and I love the act of snowing and the idea of getting stuck inside, the grayness and everything, day after day, kind of starts to wear on me a little bit. It kind of just brings down my spirits. I don't know, I'm sure there are people out there that relate to that a lot. But it just kind of gets a little sad after a while. It also couldn't be me reading about serial killers and talking about depressing ass books that I write. Oh well. Laughing has not been good for my teeth. Well, we're going to LA in a few weeks. I'm excited about that. And got some fun things planned out there. You guys, I'm not going out there for any big reason. I know a couple people have tried to like guess, and they've like sent me messages and been like, oh my god, what are you doing? It's like, it's not anything it's not anything like that. It's really just like Alex and I wanted to, you know, thought about maybe going. I haven't been to LA since I was 16. We thought, you know, like, let's just, like, we've been wanting to get out of town for a weekend anyway. I thought, okay, this would be kind of fun just to get out to LA, you know, and reach out to some people. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not that big of a deal, you know what I mean? And, so there's no, like, the big story behind it. It's not like I'm doing I don't want anybody thinking, oh, like, he's going to do a collab with Shane Dawson. I mean, it's nothing like that, you guys. It just isn't. We're literally flying in there, staying for, like, 3 nights, and mostly, like, planning on going to, like, Sur and Pump and things like that, and Tom, because Alex wants to do those things. And Sarah, Alex's best friend, lived in LA for 9 years. So Alex, her roommates live out there, so we're going to meet up with them. My friend Liz's brother, who I've known since he was, you know, 12 years old or something, he lives in LA, so we're probably going to meet up with him. Fufu and his girlfriend, Alex's brother, they may come up from San Diego one day. I mean, it's not like we're going to do some touristy shit, because I haven't been there since I was 16, like I said. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be fun. But I've gotten quite a few messages, and people are like, what's the big secret about LA? I'm like, there's no big secret about LA. I wish there was. You know, I wish it was that, you know, I had some huge surprise or something, but it's not like that. I'm kind of surprised all the snow is staying on the ground. Like, we still have like 3 or 4 inches of snow, like, on the ground everywhere. I wonder when it's supposed to snow next. It is very, like, this is the second time I've used the word cozy in tonight's video, but it is very cozy to be, like, in the house with the back windows open, like, you know, looking out over the snowy backyard, like I'm sitting there, like, watching TV or something, like, during the day. Have you guys watched this documentary on fire? A couple of you guys have mentioned it to me. I'm only, like, halfway through it. Maybe not even that much. I will say this, the island that they originally planned to have it on is absolutely amazing, isn't it? It's so beautiful. That Pablo Escobar's island or whatever. It's really pretty. I will tell you one thing I would like to kind of do, though, is I don't know anything about, well, I probably shouldn't mention it on here because I don't know anything about it, and Melissa was talking about it. But when Melissa was, there's some, like, museum or something that has to do with serial killers or something. Melissa went to the one, they have one in New Orleans. She went to Nolans. She went there. So do you guys know the show? What's it called? It's about rescuing pit bulls. I don't know how much you guys know, but, like, Melissa's really into rescues. She was president of a rescue here in town. She's now changing over and becoming part of another rescue. And, like, she's, like, Melissa's dedicated, like, the last 5-10 years of her life to, like, animal rescues. Which is so strange because my cousin was really a big part of that too. My cousin Caroline was president of the Greyhound Rescue in Indianapolis for a long time. And so anyway, but Melissa got to go to New Orleans because she got to meet, there's some TV show about, like, pit bull rescue. And so she got to meet the people that, like, put it together or whatever on the show. And, so yeah. There's one of those sadly little, what do you call them, scooters in the middle of this, just stuck in the snow over there on the side of the road. Somebody was telling me, I think it was Alex was telling me that you can drive around to make extra money and you can pick those up and go take them to places, and then you can make so much money just to pick them up and take them to where like they house those things. Did you guys know that? I did not know that. I should have that job, shouldn't I? From like driving around at night. I see them all the time. I don't know how I spot them. It's like coyotes. I can see a coyote from a mile away. Tony's like, how did you see that coyote? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're my spirit animals or something. But, so yeah. But apparently you can make money that way. What was I talking about before that? Oh, so Melissa, when she was in New Orleans, she went to some museum. I can't remember what it's called. But something about, like, she said, like, they had some exhibit in there about, like, she goes, I think they had Ted Bundy there. Because I was telling her that about reading, what do you call it? It's right here. Stranger beside me. Do you guys want to know what is so weird? Okay, besides addiction, do you want to know what I get the most emails and comments about? Honest to God, I get the most emails and comments from people, or like DMs and stuff. Like if there's consistently a theme about something, other than about addiction and recovery, the most common theme I get is about Fox Hollow Farms and the Herb Baumeister killing case. Is that not so strange that so many people reach out to me about that? I've had so many people tell me about, oh, now it's changing. I've had so many people tell me about like personal situations that like family members of theirs have had with that case. I've had so many people reach out to me and tell me, it's gonna do this thing where it goes through that round and then it doesn't come back over here. I know it is. That they've always wanted to go to that house. I've had people like ask me if I would like arrange like a tour. I would say like honestly, like as a tour, it's not super interesting. I mean, really, it's just like, I can't believe this light. I mean, it seems like an estate. I'll tell you what it looks like. Have you guys ever seen the movie 9 to 5? The house that the owner of their boss lives in, that's what the house looks like. It looks exactly like that. And they call it Fox Hollow Farms because there's horses out there. They have like horse carriages out there and stuff. Or horse barns. Beautiful property. The house is beautiful, but like it's not like you wouldn't walk in it. It's not like one of those houses where you would walk in it and just be like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just a pretty, I mean, it's not an average house. It's probably $1 million home. It's gonna stop, hold on. It's not like $1 million. I mean, it's probably, I don't know. I don't think it's probably that much. Actually, I know for a fact that it didn't sell for that. I know it sold for a lot less, but I'm sure it's hard to sell that house. But, I mean, if that had never happened, it's probably, you know, $1 million home sits out there. It's a beautiful home, but when you go inside, it's very dated. Like, they haven't updated anything in the house. I mean, it's like same carpet, same kitchen. It's just very dated. It's like they walked out of it like in '96 and nothing changed, you know? Plus, you don't walk in and it's like, you know, ghosts are flying at you. You walk in and it just feels like a house. Like, if you didn't know it had happened there, you would, like, if you walked in and, like, you had no clue that nothing had happened there, like, it wouldn't seem like a bizarre house to you at all. The basement is beautiful. The fact that it has an indoor pool isn't even that weird, you know? What's weird is when you see the pictures of when the Baumeisters lived there, and it had mannequins around the pool, you know? And then you see the pool, and you're there, and then you realize that the pool is literally, like, there's these glass doors, and then he would walk the bodies out to the burn pile. Like, it's when you visualize it all sitting there, you know? And then it becomes very, very sad. And that's one thing I really did like about Ann Rule in her book. She said that when she decided that she was going to be a crime writer, that she made a commitment that if she was going to do that, she was going to write out of fairness and always remember the victim first, which I love. But, like, that's where it gets weird, you know? Like when you're in the basement and you can really see it, like, happening. Because, like, really not a lot happened upstairs in the house, because he would bring them in through the basement. Like, when they would come there. Like, so the story is, he would meet guys out at gay bars. I'm not going to bore you with the whole story. I'll make it real quick, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, God, this story again. He would meet guys out at gay bars when his wife was out of town with the kids at the lake house. They owned Save-A-Lots in Indianapolis, which were, like, at that time, like, a thrift store. He owned, I think, like 3 of them. And then that's where he got the mannequins and stuff from. Okay, so when she was out of town, he would meet gay guys, and then he would take them back to her house. But typically the guys that he met were guys that, a lot of them were homeless and things like that. They didn't have people like that were like wondering, they're by themselves in bars, stuff like that. I mean, he really sought out a certain type. And so then he would take them back, and then he would be like, come back to my house, you know, like, we'll have some drinks and, you know, hang out, you know, all that, right? And so then he would get them back there, and he would drug them in their drinks and get them in the pool. Like, they would be in the pool, right? And then he would try to do, like, sexual asphyxiation with, like, the pool hose. Which supposedly, they still have the same pool hose. Okay, so many people, whenever I say this, say, don't you think the police would have taken the pool hose? I said that. When I was there that day, I was like, there's no way that's the pool hose. They would have taken it. And the guy was like, no, the police, like, they took it, and then they released it, and it's the same pool hose. And I looked at him, and I go, why do you use the same pool hose? And he goes, why would we get a new pool hose? I was like, weirdo. Okay, so I'm just being completely honest. I was like, weirdo. Melissa and I actually later, I was like, girl. She was like, I know, but I looked at Melissa and I go, would you swim in that pool? She goes, yeah, I would swim in that pool. It's a nice pool. I was like, oh, I would never get in that pool. So then they would be like in the pool doing it, right? And then like he would put the pool hose around them, like supposedly like for sexual reasons, and then strangle the guy and then kill him. Just, it's horrible. It's so horrible. But to go tour the house, like when you go in there, it's not super interesting because it just looks like a house. I mean, go watch that documentary. Yeah, go watch my documentary on Fox Hollow Farms. The most viewed vlog on this channel. No, Peter Monn's The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farm. I should go change the title of it. I think I did just call it Fox Hollow Farms, and I got this actually very cool picture of the house from the backyard, because it was like, that was right before, the thumbnail on it was right before we went back inside to do the paranormal investigation. That was like right as he had finished up the tour, because he toured us all through the house, and then he just like let us look everywhere we wanted to look too. I mean, we could have opened drawers and everything, we didn't, but I mean, we could have. The thing that was so weird about the house, and I've said this on here before, was that like, I am not convinced these people live in this house. I'm just not. Like, there was dust everywhere. Like, if they live in this house, like, they literally have not cleaned it in 10 years. Because there was dust everywhere. Like, you would pick up, like, Melissa and I were standing by these bookshelves, right? That were, like, in their living space. Like, in the place where they would, like, work. You know? Plus, like, in the kitchen, there was, like, this little desk. Like, where they would, like, you know, like, somebody would have all their bills and paperwork, and there was, like, nothing there. There wasn't a pen or anything. And the guy that owned the house, who was very nice and seemed very normal, he had, like, a little, like, you know, computer that he had brought there, like, laptop, that he was, like, working on while we were, like, doing stuff. But, like, other than that, the place seemed completely unlived in. And, it just was weird. It just, I don't know. It just didn't seem like anybody lived there. It was very strange. You could pick up, like Melissa and I were standing from this bookshelf, and we like picked up this frame, and there was literally like, I mean, so much dust around it. It's like nobody had dusted this around this frame, and like, I mean, you would think like if you were having people come tour your house, paranormal investigators, well, maybe not, I don't know. But you know, it just was weird. It just was like really weird. He did say that at one point, they were thinking about, like, him and this other guy, the guy that lived up in the carriage house, that they were going to try to, like, sell the movie rights or something for the place. And that didn't end up happening. And I had a feeling that, like, that's why he bought the place. Because he thought that, like, I mean, why would you buy it, you know? I mean, the house is okay. It's not, I mean, if you were going to live in it, well, like, one of the most amazing things of the house is, like, when you walk in, and the staircase is right there, and then when you walk into the living room, it's weird. It's very much like my dad's house. I didn't think about that till right now. But when you walk in, except my dad is, like, goes down, like, over a lake, but, the windows in the living room all, like, look straight out over the backyard into the woods, which is creepy now that I think about it, because that's where, I mean, you would have been looking right over the burn pile. It's just crazy to me, like, he had this burn pile out in the woods that anybody could have seen, like, burning, like, but, you know, like, there was no houses around there. Like, I was talking to my cousin Caroline about this, I think it was on Thanksgiving or Christmas, and she was like, there are all kinds of houses along there now. I go, yeah, I know, Caroline, it's really weird. And she's like, no, there's, like, houses, like, neighborhoods. She goes, that, like, the Monn trail, like, that is, like, this walking trail. It, like, backs up right to their house and stuff. I was like, I know. It's weird. Nobody thinks it's weird but me, I guess. Oh. And then, since my friend told me about the Sylvia Likens case, I've been reading all these articles about that. And that's, like, on the south side, I think. So I'm going to find out where that happened. But there's a movie, actually, on Prime called American Crime that's about that case. But I don't know that I want to watch it right now, because if we end up reading the book for the book club, I don't want to ruin it. A lot of things to find out about in the world, isn't there? Have any of you seen this Marie Kondo documentary or show on Netflix? She's the one that wrote that book, The Magical Art of, what's it called? I don't know, Cleaning Up Your Life or whatever. I didn't like that book. Alex liked it. I did not like that book. But apparently people are, like, just, like, dying for this TV show. So I'm thinking, like, maybe I need to watch it now. I don't know. What do you think? Have you seen it? Is it good? It is? Okay. I'll trust you. I didn't know what people meant when they said there's, like, this little green, like, A with a arrow around it. It's right there, but, like, I don't know where to touch it to, like, turn it off that I don't want it to do that. But, like, it's on until I, like, as soon as I, like, go, like, it'll restart the car. Like, listen, here in just a second. So, did you hear that? And then it goes away. But I don't know how to get rid of that. I don't know how to make it stop that. I don't know that I really care. Oh, it's right there. Oh, I just found it. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. It's shake and bake, and I helped. Okay, I say that about 10 times a day, and my husband, he can't stand it. He's like, what is that? Why do you say that? I go, you don't know what that is? It's a commercial on TV. He goes, what for? I go, shake and bake, and I helped. He's like, no, but like, what's it for? And I'm like, it's for shake and bake, and I helped. He just goes crazy. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Alex, it's this stuff. It's like, you coat fried chicken in it, and so it's shake and bake, and I helped. He's like, it's so dumb when you say that. It might be. My friend said to me on the phone today, and she watches my vlogs, she knows who I am. She said, they make Dumb and Dumber look smart. I mean to tell you, do you know like when somebody says something to you, and it doesn't really like register with you at the time, but then you hear it later, like in your head, like you're kind of going through like the conversation or whatever, and you're going through it later in your head, and you hear it again, and you're like, you like just like bust out laughing. I mean, that is how I was today. I can't believe it's almost 3 o'clock, and the last time I took medicine was between 8 and 9, I guess. I don't know, 8:30? 8:30. You guys, I told you I'm not any good at math. Like, seriously. Thank God I have fingers and toes. There is like a huge accident here. What is going on? Oh my God. What happened here? Holy shit. Well, I'm not gonna be able to come back through that. They're like on the street looking for something with flashlights. They have it all turned off. I don't know what that is about. Well, I guess I won't be coming back this way. Why'd you come in here looking like that? Okay, so I have little songs for each of the dogs. I think that's a Dolly Parton song. Do you guys know that song? But I always sing it to Boo Radley. And I always imagine Boo Radley walking around with his little butt, because he's got the smallest little butt in the world. He's so hilarious. And I always imagine him like in these like cowboy boots that are red. Why'd you come in here looking like that with your high heel boots and your painted on jeans? And he's got little jeans on and boots on. He's like scooting around doing the boot scoot boogie. Oh my gosh, my dogs are hilarious. They could sit there and growl at Alex all night long while he's asleep, and he would never wake up in a million years to take them out. But I sit there, I like wake up, I like, because it's pee-pee usually, right? And he's like, So I usually hear it like the second or the third time, or he'll jump down and on the wood, because we have wood floors in our bedroom, he'll like, that gets me up real quick. So tonight I like woke up and he must have done it like twice or something, and I like turned and I like looked, and like all three of them, like I could see him in the dark, like with the shadows, you know, from like the light outside. And I could just see Pee-Pee's little ears like this. And then and like Boo and Tucker were like, they were all three of them just sitting up, like looking at me at the end of the bed. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go. I need to vlog anyway. They're so cute. They're so funny too, because so after they go potty, all three of them come inside and they get a little treat, right? Well, they get half a treat. And then they'll each get a half a treat, and then they, like, you want to talk about, like, this, like, wolf pack mentality. It's so true, pack mentality with dogs. It really, really is true. And it's Pee-Pee, Tucker, and then Boo Radley. And that's how they go outdoors. Like if Pee-Pee's not in front, like, Boo and Tucker wait, and then Pee-Pee goes and Tucker, then Boo. They eat that way. They drink water that way. And so, like, they'll go in and they'll each have a treat, and then they'll wait and, like, by the water bowl till Pee-Pee's done, and then Pee-Pee, like, runs upstairs and gets into bed. Well, now I have to go upstairs and help him into bed, because at night he can't see to jump up there, and he's not supposed to be jumping up on the bed anyway, but he does anyway. And but then like Tucker comes up after he's had his treat and water, and then Boo comes up, and they go back to bed until I come home. Unless Alex has to get up really, really early, and then they sleep in their house. But they've been sleeping a lot with us. They haven't been sleeping in their house as much lately. Alex is training Tucker not to bark. And with positive reinforcement, and it has been working really, really well. He's been doing much better. Because usually, like, when I come in the front door or whatever, like, Tucker just comes right, oh, he's a howler. He's so cute. Little Tucker. I'm not really sure how I'm going to get back around over there. Well, yeah, I do know how to do that. I can go in. You guys, there's so many shows on Netflix that I want to watch, and on Amazon Prime, and there's so many audiobooks I want to listen to. There is not enough time to do it all. It's weird, like, I'm interested in the fire documentary, but I have to say, there's actually like 3 or 4 documentaries on Amazon Prime that I really want to see. But I don't, somebody is texting me, and I'm like, who is texting me at 2:57 in the morning? Like, I cannot see that far away. But anyway, yeah, there's several documentaries that I want to see on Amazon Prime. But I was sitting there the other night, and I was like, I had started watching the Kevin Aquan documentary. Do you guys know about this? Okay, so it's about his life and as being a celebrity makeup artist, and it's fantastic. It is so well done. I just finished watching the Suzanne Barsh documentary, which, if you're interested in like the whole club scene in New York City and the club kids and all that kind of stuff, it's very, very good. It's very well done, and I love Suzanne Barsh. I think she is fantastic, and just, it's so interesting. So anyway, I have a feeling she's going to be the guest host judge on RuPaul's Drag Race this week, because they're doing like this club night, and I know that RuPaul and Suzanne Barsh are like really, really good friends, and so I was like, that would make sense, because like Suzanne Barsh is like infamous for like throwing parties, and they're supposed to like throw a party night, and I'm like, that would be like she'd be a really good judge for that, and I have a feeling that's who the guest judge is going to be. But anyway, so I started watching the Kevin Aquan thing, but like at the point that I'm at right now, it starts getting kind of really sad, talking about his childhood and stuff like that. So I was sitting there last night. Was it last night? Or the night before, whenever I started the fire documentary. I don't know when I started it, but, and I saw that it had come up, and I was like reading it, and I was like, I'm just going to watch this now. It's very interesting. I mean, going to music fest, I mean, it's very interesting from the point of view of like social media and things like that. I mean, the marketing that they did is unreal on this thing. But then the flip side of that is like going to a lot of music festivals and knowing how they're put together, knowing how they're run, and, you know, having a lot of friends that are like in the behind the scenes of all that stuff. Like, the work that goes into throwing these music festivals is unbelievable. And, you know, they're like 45 days out from the music festival, and they haven't even started building the infrastructure yet. And it's like, what did they think how did they think they were going to do this, you know, and pull this off? Just crazy to me. And the amount of money that they were putting into this thing, they like paid, like, I'm not ruining anything for you, so I'm not going to go in and tell any more details. Don't beg me for the details. I know you're trying to beg me for the details. And I really want to watch Demon House on Amazon Prime, but Mel, I think it was Mel, was telling me that people like watch it and then they have like spiritual attachments afterwards, which I don't want any of that. And because I'm closer than everybody else, because I'm in Indiana to that place, no. But it does kind of freak me out, but I do really want to watch it. Alex and I, what were we wanting to watch? Oh, we want to watch The Homecoming with Julia Roberts, too. But Tanya started watching it the other night, and she said she didn't really like it. Let me get down a little bit lower. Get down on it. She said she didn't really like it. She started watching it. She said it was kind of sad. She started watching this documentary, too. Somebody asked me if I had watched it today on Twitter. In Plain Sight or whatever. Tanya said it was really, really good. She said it was like one of the best documentaries on Netflix right now. But she said it will really, she goes, it'll irritate you. And I go, what do you mean it'll irritate me? And she goes, the parents are total idiots. It's apparently about some girl that gets kidnapped twice by a neighbor or something. Tanya's like, the parents will just like piss you off. They're such idiots. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I love stuff like that. So I want to watch that. And I've got to finish Stranger Beside Me so I can start the Harry Potter book, which now it doesn't look like I'm going to get the Harry Potter book done in January. Oh, I don't know. Like, I'll have this done by Wednesday, and that'll give me an entire week to finish Harry Potter. I should finish it in that amount of time. I actually can't believe how quickly I'm flying through The Stranger Beside Me. It's really good. It is really, really good, you guys. Like, it was a great pick. I don't know who recommended it to us, but it was a great pick for January book club read. I'm loving it. So, yeah. And in February, if you haven't gone to watch my book club, huge book club or booktube announcement video, we are reading Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, which is supposedly like the very first nonfiction book ever. I guess is kind of how they described it. I was like reading an article about it, and then I read Wikipedia. First ever nonfiction, and then first ever true crime novel. So I've heard it's very dry, but also very scary. I feel like I've read bits and pieces of it in my life because my mom was such a huge Truman Capote fan. Do you know what's really weird is that when I was growing up, Truman Capote was in this movie, Murder by Death. Oh, it's gonna stop. Hold on a second. Did you guys ever see the movie Murder by Death? Oh my god, it was so good. And it was in this old house, and it was like this murder mystery weekend, and they had all these people that were supposed to like resemble like the detectives in like fictional books, like Miss Marple and all of these people. The Thin Man, Nick and Nora Charles from the Thin Man series, which my mom and I used to watch. Anyway, they have to solve this crime, and in the book or in the movie, Truman Capote plays the guy that invites them all there. That was such a great movie. I haven't watched that in forever. I should watch that again. It's starting to hurt a little bit. Hopefully I still gotta go get something to eat. I didn't even think about that. So tomorrow I'm gonna do catch-up meditations. I'm going to do a review, probably of the Arby's food. But there was a Taco Bell thing that I wanted to do too. I also have like a clothing gadget. That's the only way I know how to explain it. But I don't know when I'm going to do that review. And then I'm going to do a review of the Hank Green book for my BookTube channel. The Q&A on Peter Monn channel. And the vlog. Those are my videos tomorrow. Do you know I just really got the taste for are blueberry muffins with lots of butter on them. Isn't that weird that I just got a craving for that? Do you ever wish you could just buy one blueberry muffin? I mean, you can at like some grocery stores, but not like late at night. Do you know what I mean? instead of having to like buy like 4, because then you have 4, and then the next day you wake up and it's like, okay, but I don't want the other 3, and Alex doesn't eat blueberry muffins. I can't believe this battery has gone as long as it has. It usually starts flashing about this time, doesn't it? 24. Oh, I wonder how long I had been filming when it slid. Shut off yet. Maybe it's gonna let me go forever tonight. A 3-hour vlog. How many of you would actually watch a 3-hour vlog if I did one? I would literally have to like splice pieces together the entire day for it to be that long. I know you guys think I can talk that long, but I just really don't think that I could. My little root beer is about gone. My little Chuck E. Cheese root beer. It's funny, I was telling Alex and Sarah this tonight, like, so they do this thing at Chuck E. Cheese. If you've been there, you'll know what I'm talking about. I feel like I've been there about 5 times in the last year, which is 5 times. I mean, I love my nephews, but it's like for everything, birthday, everything, like we always go to Chuck E. Cheese because they love it so much. But anyway, God, some of these people are like, they have so many of those tickets. I'm like, oh my God, how many poop emoji pillows do you need? They have like just tickets and tickets and tickets and tickets and tickets. And Sebastian's so funny because he doesn't really understand it. So like whenever the machine ends, he goes, I won. He doesn't get it like at all. Even if he just gets 1 ticket, he doesn't understand it. But anyway, so like every hour, like Chuck E. Cheese will go out on the dance floor, which was, you know, incidentally right next to where we were standing. And Chuck E. Cheese walks through, and it's just, you know, the guy that was standing behind the counter 5 minutes before. Okay, if you're a child, please don't watch this part. Warning, warning, warning. I don't want to ruin the magic. But, so these 2 guys, you know, come out, and the last time that they did it, they did it 3 times, I guess. The last time they came out, so I was there almost 3 hours. They had this woman that was out there with them. She must have been their manager because they weren't very excited about it. So they do this whole like dance, and they're like, pizza, something about your ears, and they do all this kind of stuff, and then you have to like imitate them as they're doing it and whatever. I was living. Carlitos was right out there in the middle of it, dancing with all of them, okay, because he loves to dance so much. Sebastian was on the sidelines crying. But like most of these kids like really get into it. But what's so funny is like over the headlines they'll say, follow Chucky as he walks around, he's giving away free tickets. And you'll like literally look, and no lie, okay, there's like 30 kids following this Chuck E. Cheese guy, okay, through the store. And they're in all different ages, like from, you know, 2 years old to like 10 years old, seriously, okay? And they're just following, and they all just look miserable as shit, right? And they're all just walking over to see Chucky like dance in this thing. At the very end, he has all the kids sit down, and then they're like, oh, did you enjoy dancing with Chucky? And they're like, yeah. And then like he throws all these tickets out, and then they get free tickets. It's basically all about money, isn't it? Isn't that all anybody cares about is tickets and money? That's just all it is anymore. They don't want Chucky, they just want his tickets. But it was so funny. And I said to Alex and Sarah, I said, you know what would be so hilarious? Is I said, here's just like this random group of strangers dancing, okay, on this like tiled, you know, like this, it's like one of those tiled things that goes off, you know, like Dance Dance Revolution. And and they don't know each other, and they're like looking at each other and dancing and stuff. It would be so funny if we like videotaped them, and then like 20 years later, we brought them all back together for some like, you know, social experiment and said, you guys were all at Chuck E. Cheese on this day dancing to Chucky for free tickets. Like, what has happened to your life now? Like, that would be a really interesting documentary. Don't tell me that you wouldn't watch it. Wouldn't you watch it? I was talking to Sarah, who she and Alex are the same age, 34. So she was like, that whole building is a Lids, like Lids, the hat place. Do you guys have Lids in your area? That whole place is all like a Lids sports thing. Anyway, I was like, did you ever have birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese when you were a kid? And she was like, oh yeah. She was like, here, the roller skate rink, the ice skating rink, the movie theater. I was like, the movie theater? She was like, yeah, we used to have, they have like places in there where you could have, because I was kind of a destination birthday girl. And Sarah's so funny. And I said, so we were going through and she's like, did you have a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese when you were growing up? And I said, oh no, sweetheart. I said, Chuck E. Cheese wasn't Chuck E. Cheese when I was growing up. She goes, Chuck E. Cheese wasn't Chuck E. Cheese? And I go, no. And she goes, what was it? And I go, Showbiz Pizza. And I go, and you know what's weirder? I go, it was in exactly this location. The location that was Showbiz Pizza when I was growing up as a kid is like, they've literally just like turned it into a Chuck E. Cheese. It even kind of looks the same inside. Except Showbiz Pizza was so much 10 times better because they had like 20 of those skee ball things. They had those balls that you could fall into. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those big pits. And they had all kinds of video games and stuff like that. But then, while the pizza at Showbiz Pizza was 10 times better too, even though my dad always said it tastes like shit. My dad would say, can we just go anywhere you want afterwards so we don't have to get the pizza? And I'd be like, Dad, I want Showbiz Pizza. Because I thought it was good. I liked Showbiz Pizza. But anyway, I can kind of even remember what it tasted like, weirdly enough. But then they would have, do you remember, oh, there's a battery just came on. Do you remember that they would have the dancing, like, people that basically is like Chuck E. Cheese now? But they didn't, like, back then they would have like a stage and it would like be like a show. Like if you went to like, you know, Disney World, it would be like a show like that. It was really cool. I loved it. My dad and I would go there and we'd play like hours of skee ball because I loved skee ball so much. And he'd be like, my dad is so sarcastic, and I'm like, you know, 10 years old, and it's like divorced dad night, Wednesday nights, and he'd be like, let's go to Showbiz Pizza and play hours of skee ball so that we can get a big comb. And because I want like one of those big combs, you know, or something like that. And I'd be like, Dad, don't make fun, it's fun. Anyway, all right, you guys, listen, I'm gonna get off here and go get something to eat because I'm starving. And hopefully, maybe I'll make it through. I won't have to take any more leave or anything tonight. That would be fantastic. And if you see videos up tomorrow, then that means I'm feeling better. So, but I appreciate all your well wishes. You guys have been so sweet. You've been so nice. It's meant so much to me. I really, really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.